Welcome back to Swordbox Ministries. Continue to pray for Mickey. He's still not feeling well, and I'm going to continue our series of 66 books in 66 days. Today we reach the book of Habakkuk. Habakkuk was the 8th minor prophet, and his name means to embrace or wrestle. As is usually the case, his name has something to do with the message of the book. I think it relates to the fact that he was wrestling with a difficult issue. If God is good, then why is there evil in the world? Is this oracle Habakkuk saw a vision of the wickedness of the nations surrounding Judah, or a vision of the wickedness within Judah? John Calvin maintains that the vision was in light of the evil of his own people, because they had resisted God's prophet in vain, and that God would punish them for their sins. How long, he says, shall I cry on account of violence, that is, when all things are in disorder, when there is now no regard for equity and justice, but men abandon themselves, as it were with loose reins, unto all kinds of wickedness? How long, Lord, wilt thou take no notice? This passage teaches us that all who really serve and love God should burn with holy indignation whenever they see wickedness reigning without restraint among men, and especially in the church of God. God answers Habakkuk in 1:15-11 by using the Chaldeans to discipline the people of Judah. Habakkuk's dilemma then changes to, why do you use a people who are even more wicked to discipline Judah? Calvin suggests that Habakkuk is reasoning with himself rather than questioning God's goodness. He is honestly struggling with the concept of God's sovereignty. He cannot see clearly how God could allow the wicked to prosper and oppress the righteous. God's answer, 2:2-20, is that Babylon would be punished for her wickedness. In chapter 3, Habakkuk regains his perspective, recognizing God's judgment on Judah by wicked Babylon. Then, seeing God's terrible judgment of Babylon, Habakkuk replies that he is terrified of God. At last he sees God's sovereign control in the judgment of the nations. He recognizes God's power and authority. The prophet finishes his book on a completely different note than he began it. In 3:17-19, Habakkuk reveals that ever in the midst of absolute ruin and abject famine, the prophet was prepared to trust God. He realized that inward peace did not depend on outward prosperity. The theme of Habakkuk is found in 3:17-19, where he comes to the conclusion that despite all outward appearance of poverty and despair, the Lord is everything he needs. Another statement on the theme would be Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all things acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Our verse for today is Habakkuk 2:20. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth be silent before him. Thank you once again for joining us here at Swordbox, and please check back tomorrow as we continue 66 books in 66 days.